try to become the third driver to win here after leading at the halfway point.
Cat lurking right behind them. Strimmy in that Dodge. I mean, he's closing down on these front four here pretty quickly, too.
Darrell, he definitely had the fastest lap of the last lap these guys ran by about 2/10, so he's right up there in the equation.
Where's Bradshaw?
That was strange looking. Shane Meal at start finish went right down to the track apron. He is 32 laps down after transmission trouble, but never mind. He's one of the quickest cars on the racetrack right now.
He's not out of it till there's 32 laps to go. That's the way he drives.
And he's pulling away from Kyle Busch, the 23rd place car.
Remember, Kyle was one of those cars for speeding on pit road that last caution, still trying to recover, just like Joe Nemechek and David Green and some others.
There goes Strimmy going by Harvick into turn 3 for 3rd place.
Go back a ways to this battle for 9th. Paul Menard and John Wood. Chevy versus Ford. Just ahead, J.J. Yaley in the 18. Here's Matt.
Mike, on their first pit stop, the 11 team went up on the track bar, and Paul said over the course of the next run, it hurt the car even more, so they backed up on that track bar adjustment and put on a set of scuffs, working on his best career finish, now running in that 9th position, which matches that best finish back in 2003 at IRP. They feel like they're going in the right direction. Now he just needs to settle in, get some clean air, and slowly start working his way back up to the front.
Okay, this is a good run for John Wood in that 47 car. We've been talking about the strength of the Fords here. He's up there in the 10th position. Another one of those cars that has that Roush Yates engine, the new engine package in it, and I think they're reaping the rewards for it now.
You know, John just stepped into the Truck Series and won himself a race, but struggled a little bit with the... There he is.
There's Bradshaw.
I knew he would be around. I knew he'd be here somewhere.
Hey guys, it's a concern, Terry Bradshaw, right now. You're talking about Sterling Marlin. Sterling just radioed in, said his water temperature is up to 250 degrees.
Well, you know, that's certainly a concern, Steve, but I don't think you're going to see the same problem with Tim Fiedel and David Strimmy, because we've been watching the front end of Sterling Marlin in the 40 car, and the nose is all caved in and probably really hurt the airflow to the radiator. There's a reason why. We talk about the crew chiefs getting very aggressive with the tape on the noses of these cars. The more tape you can run on those inlets, it really helps the aero of the car, plants the nose, and you see the bottom is clean, but it's completely taped up. It's up there at those upper openings where it's caved in, where they had a little bit of opening, and I'd say that's what they're fighting.
Yeah, as hot as it is today, you should always err a little bit on the safe side with the tape, because you never know what you're going to get into, just like what happened to Sterling.
J.J. Yaley repassed John Wood for 8th place as you look at Mark Martin, who has almost a 1-second lead on teammate Carl Edwards. Let's crank it up on the restart. Trouble turn 3. Paul Menard had to hit the brakes to avoid a car that suddenly slowed in front of him and paid the price.
I'll tell you who did a great job of getting through there was Reed Sorensen. Holy cow.
Yeah, Stacy Compton also paid the price because he was right behind Menard.
Yeah, he and Menard went up into the wall together.
Tony Raines, right side damage, and Sterling Marlin, more nose and left side damage.
But you're right, DW. Reed Sorensen getting through that wreck, but that's what you do. As you see Stacy Compton in the 59 car, hard lick into the inside wall. But there you see he's helmet off, a little frustrated. But that's what you do to your driver when you put him in that box with a mistake on pit road. You put him back there in the eye of that storm.
You watch him go through this. He did a great job of sitting on a hot stove.
Now see, they back up in front of Mark Martin, and everything just accordions. Menard gets tapped by Casey Kane, and
Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car, I don't know how he ever made it through there. But he did.
Boy, Stacy Compton got hit, I think, about 3 times before that car came to rest.
See Paul Menard in the 11 car, which was the first car to get turned. And things just stack up behind him. See Joe Nemechek in the 87.
There's the second hit for Compton. Now he's going to start to slide down. Oh, got missed there. And, oh, his teammate John Wood clipped him right at the end. You're not going to like this, folks. This is Stacy Compton.
Casey Kane went in on the outside there. Got wet hurt.
Nowhere to go there, guys.
It's not over with yet.
Yeah. You all right, Stacy?
Stacy is okay. Let's ride with Joe Nemechek.
Go high, go high, go high, go high.
Ouch.
This is what's amazing right here. You see Martin Truex Jr. in the 8 car barely slipping through.
Tim Fido as well.
Reed Sorensen, you mentioned DW in the 41.
Zigging and zagging his way right through there.
Here comes old lucky zigzag Kenny Wallace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy, easy, easy. Start waving them off. Clear low, clear low, clear low, clear low. You're good. Come on, come on. That's it, baby. Good job, good job. Come on with it.
I love that. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, that's very instructive.
Oh, yeah, it helps a lot.
See Paul Menard, the 11 car, they're pushing him back to the garage area. Had a pretty good car earlier in the race. Sterling Marlin in the 40 with all types of damage. Well, just thinking about Joe Nemechek, we talked about Reed Sorensen being back there because of a mistake by the pit crew leaving that lug nut off. The reason Joe Nemechek was back there was, remember, caught speeding on pit road trying to recover from that.
So caution out for the 6th time here in Las Vegas. Greg Biffle, your leader. Getting set for the restart with 79 laps to go. Let's go down toward the infield care center and Steve.
Thanks, Mike. Stacy just out of the care center. Stacy, looked like you took several hard licks. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just frustrating. The guys that's Kingsford Ford had gotten the car so much better. We were coming to the front, and just not a lot of patience out there. And the ones that caused the wreck looked like they should know better because they're Cup drivers, and just hated to see it. Kingsford team is we're finally getting on the roll, and just can't finish a race, and pretty frustrating. But that's the way it goes. That's racing. We'll just go to Atlanta next week and get them.
Thank you.
Getting set for the restart, Justin Labonte will be the free pass car. He'll get back on the lead lap. So it'll be Biffle, Edwards, Stremme, Harvick, and Ashton Lewis. But Larry, how long has it been since Greg Biffle's been to pit road?
Anytime.
Well, he was on pit road at lap 86, and right now we're at lap 120. Now remember, the reason he stayed out was to try to save his 2 sets of tires. If we should stay green, he will have to be on pit road in about 20 to 25 laps for fuel.
Green flag.
Boy, David Stremme in that 14 car, he was hooked to the rear bumper of Carl Edwards in the 60.
Yeah, if I had a Dodge like he does, I'd take better care of my nose than that because they've been having a little nose problem.
They really had a fight with some lap cars down in turn 1 and 2. Stamp Barrett in the 36 as far as one of the lap cars.
And Sterling Marlin took that restart from pit road, went a lap down, repairing crash damage for the lead. Carl Edwards coming right back after Greg Biffle, and he's going to take it.
Not without a fight.
Biffle will not give up. Just remember, we just talked about Greg Biffle. He has about 23 more laps on his tires, and right there you can see the difference. His car, the nose just slides up the racetrack on the exit of the corner.
4th place. Kevin Harvick on the inside. He's got company. Right behind the leader's single file. It is side by side. Harvick is underneath the 36 of Stanton Barrett, who's 2 laps down, but a lot of side-by-side racing right behind him.
Yeah, you know, Biffle saving those tires like that, that's good strategy if you get to use the tires.
If you get the caution.
Because we already talked about how these tires will fall off, or the pace will fall off somewhere between 2 and 3 seconds, new tires to old. So that could be a big advantage for him if it plays out.
Elliott Sadler trying to come back up into play, and Mark Martin boxed in.
But he was so good at the beginning of the race, then started to go backwards as he tries to go around the lap car of Stanton Barrett to 36. Looks like now he's working his way back to the top 5 where he was in the beginning of the race.
Mark Martin strong off the corner. And Jeannie, what about Martin Truex Jr.? He was 12th just before this caution, and right now he's running 12th.
Yes, interesting conversation during that cleanup between the 8 and his spotter. Joey Meyer said, I got you through that because I drove you right into the middle of it. Martin Truex saying, hey, I didn't hear a thing you said once it started. All I saw was cars wrapped around my hood. Spotter replied, well, then I did a great job. Martin, of course, taking issue with it, saying, wait, cat-like reflexes got us through. Maybe our luck is changing. And as the spotter replied, Joey Meyer saying, good, because I used all mine up on that deal.
You know, success has many fathers. Failure is an orphan.
I tell you, another
good
race car. You see Reed Sorensen in the 41 car. Remember, had that pit road penalty for a lug nut, trying to claw and fight his way back. I watched him a while ago. He ran the entire front stretch on the apron trying to pass race cars.
He's committed to the bottom, and every time we get ready to come off the corner over there, there's somebody that has been in his way. But this time looks like he might be able to make the pass and move on.
Guys are all battling for about 13th position. You see Ashton Lewis in the 25 car. It appears that maybe the last pit stop he only took on fuel. That's how he got out, and he's paying the price for having those older tires, it appears.
Ashton Lewis in the 25, Blaney in the 31.
Now Blaney's a lap down, but they got a short stack right behind him, about 3 deep.
Got Truex looking on the outside, and you got Sorensen going down on the inside, and they meet in turn 3. Hello.
But look at Reed Sorensen's car, that 41. He just turns it to the bottom, nails the throttle, and he's passing 2 cars at a time right now.
It opened up for him just right that time.
It puts him up into the 12th position, but right now he's a little over 12 seconds behind our leader, Carl Edwards. He would definitely be one of the cars that would love to see a caution get caught back up.
Yeah, while you're back here wheeling and dealing in traffic, the leaders are up there motoring on away.
There's your leader, Carl Edwards. David Stremme. Greg Biffle with Kevin Harvick. Mark Martin, Elliott Sadler, J.J. Yeley, Clint Boyer, Kyle Busch, Casey Kane, Tim Fedewa, and there is Sorensen in 12th.
And Darrell, you talk about this a lot, and I know when I spot for you, you don't want to hear I'm 12.5 seconds behind the leader. It's hard for you to reference. What you want to know is when the leader crosses the line now, the start-finish line. That way you can reference it. Leader at the line now.
That's your point of reference as far as the driver is concerned. You know, everything happens at the start-finish line.
Battling Tim Fedewa right now. That's who we're riding with in the 12 car. This is a battle for 11th.
And here is Harvick making the move on Biffle. This is for 3rd place. And there's Sorensen and Fedewa on the right.
my gosh, there just went Carl Edwards at the start-finish line. And here comes Harvick now at the line. And then you wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And here goes Sorensen at the line. So, whoa, man, is he a long way back.
Just remember, Biffle in that 66 car, he's definitely one of the cars that would love to see a caution. We talked about it a minute ago. He'll about have to be a pit road at about 10 or 12 laps. Now, everyone will have to make at least one more pit stop, though.
131 laps complete in the Samstown 300.
Carl Edwards leading with 23 laps to go here in Las Vegas. Mike Choi mentioned that Carl does the backflip and did it at the start-finish line after winning the 2004 Daytona NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, but he has stated that he won't perform another backflip, at least on TV, until he wins another race. So this might be the perfect opportunity to see Carl Edwards do that. Kevin Harvick, excellent pit stops all day, currently running fourth, but problems the last time around for the 21 car.
Yeah, we've been watching and commenting all day long how flawless this crew has been all day. But on the last stop, when they came in, I was noticing that the right rear tire changer had gotten up and gone back around to the left side, and then we're waiting. A lot of trouble right there getting the tire off the right front. I saw a lot of brake dust, but again, how slow you are coming around from the right side dictates how fast the total stop is. It was like an 18.2, one of his slowest stops at a very inopportune time.
7 cautions so far, 1 away from the track record, ready to go green.
Harvick will restart fourth behind Carl Edwards, David Stremme, and Mark Martin. It's Ford, Dodge, Ford, Chevy at the front with Elliott Sadler fifth, Joe Nemechek, David Green, Reed Sorensen, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin, the top 10.
Boy, Elliott Sadler lucked out, Larry, missing pit road the way he did. And then now he's sitting up there in 5th place. That's pretty good recovery.
Yes, it is.
Dave Blaney did not get going on the restart. He may only have high gear. And one car, might have been Derek Cope, may have brushed the wall coming off turn 2.
I think he just got shoved up out of the groove. I don't think he hit the wall.
Okay. Shane Meals taking his car to the garage as Paul Menard with crash damage returns to the race. Now, during that caution flag, a number of drivers, including Greg Biffle, had a chance to put on that last set of fresh tires.
Well, we talked about when he did not pit on lap 110, as we see, boy, Elliott Sadler got real loose right there in the middle of 3 and 4, and he's going to lose the position to Joe Nemechek in the 87, who we're riding with, and a lot more cars, but he was trying to save that set of tires. Newt Morris, crew chief, elected to stay out. Maybe it'll pay off for Greg, but it better hurry, because meanwhile Carl Edwards in about 3 laps already a second and a half out front of the second place car, the 60 car.
Yeah, that 60 car today with Carl Edwards, he's in a league of his own. I mean, he's in another zip code.
Biffle restarted 12th. He is up to 8th. See what happens over these final 20 laps.
Carl's car, just like it was in the beginning of the race, he can open up such a huge lead before the other guys can kind of get going.
See Biffle right there, the yellow 66 car pulls up behind Reed Sorensen in the 41 car. This is a battle for 6th now.
One thing, they worked on that 5 car, and he's coming back up through there too. He's up to 8th place and passing him when he catches him.
Just told these boys 19 laps to go. This is where you reach up there to pull those belts and dig tight, dig low.
Dude, right there is moving on.
Been a tough day for last week's winner. Martin Truex Jr. went a lap down during this last long green flag run, finds himself in 15th.
I don't think we can say enough about David Stremme, though, guys. Running in 2nd place, and the day he's had, I mean, it's been a phenomenal day for him and that team.
And the week he's had, he was so sick he had to climb out of the car last Sunday in mid-race. But he's made quite a recovery, and so has this team. Here's Jeannie.
Talking about David Stremme, of course, mentioning that, you know, his gear was slipping out. They had to send bungee cords through. Car was loose, car was tight. You know, the typical typical stuff you get during the race, but he's just been fighting it all day admirably. I mean, even now, guys, you can't really tell, but he says the car is shaking on him.
Well, that's not a good sign. That shaking is probably something related to that gearbox problem he's having. And let's just hope for his sake it'll hang in there for a few more laps.
17 to go. Let's go back to 9th place, where Randy LaJoie and the Frank Cece and Jim Kelly Dollar General car had to take the Champions Provisional to get into show, and yet LaJoie has climbed his way to 9th.
Yeah, we've been talking about comers and goers. Yeah, started dead last on the field. John Bland is crew chief. They've made the right calls. This is a great run for this race team, sitting there in 9th with 16 laps to go. Good run for Randy. You know, that little bobble Elliott Sadler made about 4 or 5 laps ago off turn 2. He's all the way back to 13th now. Actually, the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, he could never quite recover from that slide job that happened down in turn 2. He had his hands full.
And Greg Biffle continues to progress. Biffle is up to 6th. Remember, he restarted 12th. Matt?
And Biffle's trying to motor his way back up on the part of the field. The 60 says he has a tire going down.
Edwards keeps it back up on the apron. Nope, spins it again.
Yeah, caution is out now.
Right rear tire is down, and he's...
Now, he'll stay on the lead lap. I guess my question would be...
Right rear. 4 tires when we come in. 4 tires when we come in. Sorry, bud. Good call on your tire, man.
We're going to see the spin here, and then we'll find out what would have been the penalty if he'd just driven across the grass straight to his pit. As that tire goes down.
Yeah, I don't think it... I'm sure they would have held him because he would have been on pit road illegally. That's my guess.
Yeah, I wonder if his tail ended along his line, or would they hold him a lap?
Probably
is a moot point because he kept going. What a shame, though, because not only was he the pole sitter, he has been the class of the field all day long.
I'll tell you who this is a big break for is Greg Biffle. You see right there a lot of smoke coming from the right rear tire, but I think this is a big break for Greg Biffle because if we can get within the 10-lap window, he'll restart this race in 5th with a little fresher tires, and we'll have no lap cars to deal with. So this could be good for Greg Biffle.
Carl Edwards was in a real box there, you know, Larry. He should have come on pit road that time by, I think, because that tire is going to come apart, and it is going to rip the right rear quarter panel right off of that car. And now he's had to slow down so much to keep that from happening. Maybe should have dove that baby on pit road the first time by.
Because the penalty is the tail end of the longest line, but it's much better than tearing the fender or quarter panel up.
See, it's shredded now. You see it right underneath the car. And hopefully he can get around here without doing a whole lot more damage. And that Kyle Busch coming onto pit road as well under this caution flag.
Oh, yeah, and he was up there in about 6th, 7th place, I think.
Scott Riggs is in a number of pit stops.
Kyle Busch is in again. He complained that that last set of tires was just like the ones earlier in the race. Just loosened the car up. They decided to keep that set of tires on. They were out of fresh tires. In fact, in that last pit stop, they were out of fresh tires. Put a couple of rounds in the left rear to try to tighten it up, but he will have his hands full for these last laps.
Casey Kane, Elliott Sadler, Denny Hamlin, and Ashton Lewis are also on pit road as Edwards finally makes it into the pit lane, Matt.
And his crew watching our coverage told him, you're going too fast. You need to slow down some more. We need to try to save that quarter panel. Now, Carl said, do whatever you have to do, pressure-wise or chassis adjustments, to make me as good as I can over this little short sprint we're going to have to the finish, as he slowly makes his way down pit road.
Now, they definitely do not have any new tires, sticker tires. We're definitely seeing scuffs. I guess it just... We'll find out exactly how good those scuff tires are, which tires that has been run before, whether it was in practice or earlier in the race.
Well, the worst thing, Larry, is he's going to have to restart 14th. And without benefit of new tires, that could be tough sledding.
Actually, he's starting 28th because he's got all those lap cars on the inside. So he's 14th in the outside line, but he's got all those lap cars, so that's going to be hard to pull off.
So the game has changed here in Las Vegas with 12 laps to go. finishing up the 8th caution period, tying the record set in 1997. David Stremme, who finished 3rd here last year, is the leader. 10 laps to go. Green flag. He's got to hold off Mark Martin, Kevin Harvick, Joe Nemechek, and Greg Biffle.
Yeah, and he's got to get that thing in high gear, Larry, in a hurry, and get that bungee cord wrapped around it, and don't look back.
Here comes Edwards, 4 wide on the outside, entering turn 1. He's a man on a mission.
He knows he does not have long. He only has 10 laps to go. And Matt Yokin, I guess I'm curious, what kind of tires did he put on Carl Edwards?
Got a pass for the lead down the back here, guys.
As they're battling for the lead with Martin and the 14, Larry Mack, to answer your question, 18-lap scuffs, there was a U-shaped cut on that right rear tire.
Look at David Stremme in that 14 car. He wants this Busch Series win. 9 laps to go. Look at him. We got 3 cars there under our blanket.
Yeah, but Mark Martin's been the best on the low side all day. Stremme gives him plenty of room, and he's going to surrender the lead to Martin. And here comes Harvick. All this side-by-side racing may be a benefit to Biffle and Carl Edwards, but they are maybe too far back and have this kind of traffic to get through. That's Edwards in the middle.
3 wide going off into the corner. That will not work very long. Somebody had to give.
And it was Clint Boyer in the 2 with Mayfield on the outside.
Tell you one thing, Stremme has not given up. He has got the whip out, and he is going back after Mark Martin, and he is driving the wheels off his old race car.
Edwards has gained 4 spots on that lap, up to 10th. Nemechek 4th, looking ahead at Kevin Harvick.
Stremme's really good in 3 and 4. A lot like Mark was earlier. Stremme really drives down into 3 well and gets through 3 and 4 pretty good up on the high side.
Uh-oh, here comes 2nd place Harvick, trying for his 4th runner-up finish in a row.
Whoop.
It just seems like Stremme in the 14 cannot keep his car on the bottom. He keeps opening the door to these guys, and they keep driving under.
I think he's just over driving, really. I mean, he's really just trying to hang on to what he's got, and he's charging down in the corner, and we got trouble.
Yeah, Kyle Busch got a little in the back of Dave Blaney because he had a mirror full of Carl Edwards, and Edwards scoots past that entire pack of cars in one move.
Stremme will not give up this battle right here for 2nd place. And while these guys are side by side, it's pulled Joe Nemechek, who we're riding with in the 87 car, right into the battle. But Mark Martin's loving this battle because he's driving away from these guys with 6 laps to go.
Edwards is up to 11th. Excuse me, he's up to 8th and still coming. 6 laps to go. Reed Sorensen 6th, Randy LaJoie 7th, Edwards 8th, ahead of David Green.
Get that 34.
A little bit of cheerleading going on from Carl Edwards' spotter. Go get Randy LaJoie, the 34 car. That's the next car he's racing for position. 5 laps to go this time.
3 cars in between Edwards and LaJoie. And the leader disappearing. Mark Martin just ran the fastest lap of anybody on this lap 195.
That's about as fast. That's a pretty darn fast lap. That's 33.5 at this point of the day.
Stremme has figured out how to make that car work right now about a groove off the bottom of the racetrack, and he's actually pulling away a little bit from Kevin Harvick in the 21 with 4 to go.
Yeah, his old car really gets into the corner nicely for him. He's a little bit better in 3 and 4 than he is in 1 and 2, but he's got that thing up on the high side, keeping it wound up, and he's able to hold Harvick off.
Mark Martin, that 9 car, he's right where he's been all day long, hugging that white line right around the bottom of the racetrack. Free to go.
A lot like we saw him at Fontana a couple of weeks ago.
80 out back. 1.6, please.
And what his crew chief was telling him, you ran a 33.70. The car behind you out back ran a 33.80. That gives Mark good information where he's at.
And the 1.6, that's his lead in seconds over this pair. Edwards is not done. He's going after Randy LaJoie for 7th. Carl 10th at Daytona, 6th at California, 3rd in Mexico, and now he's back up to 7th place after that cut tire.
Just ride it out nice and smooth right there. Keep them behind you.
just remember, he came in here second in the points. The leader, Kevin Harvick, in the 21. This will be the last race he competes in for a while. So Carl Edwards, the big picture, the championship.
Then Harvick's had a really bad day after 3 second-place finishes. Golly.
Finish third. He's not ready to give up on that second just yet, though.
No, it's white flag, and I know he wants to finish second again today.
Well, let's see how it plays out. Mark Martin crosses the line with a 2-second lead. Harvick draws a bead on Stremme, looks low, nothing there in turn 1.
I know one thing, our leader, Mark Martin, he has almost a 2-second lead. But these 100,000 people are all waving him on this white flag lap.
Stremme looks to have second. Nope, here comes Harvick. Harvick on the inside, charging hard, side by side. Mark Martin's going to win it.
Stremme tried to push him down, but Harvick leads him back to the line.
Harvick got that run off of 2, got down underneath of Stremme, and there wasn't anything he could do about it.
Harvick's hole card got him second place at the wire, 4 straight second-place finishes.
It's almost like he knew he had one shot to do it, and he did it coming off turn 4.
Mark Martin started 25th to score his 47th NASCAR Busch Series win. 2 for 2 this year. He won back here in 1999, in the Busch Series. And for Jack Roush, the Roushketeers have 4 wins in the 9 Busch Series races.
I always wondered why Mark quit running Busch races, and now I know why. To give everybody else a chance.
And Mark Martin getting a cold drink. Another win for Roush Racing and another win for the all-time winningest driver in NASCAR Busch Series history, Mark Martin. Mark, you got a win at Fontana in your Busch car. Another win here today as Jack Roush joins you. Tell us about this victory. How'd you win it?
We got a little lucky today. Carl Edwards and his bunch had that thing in the bag there today. They did an awesome job, and they were long gone, man. We just couldn't get to them, and you know, the way it turned out, we kind of needed that last caution to get a chance to catch up to the 14 there, and everything played in our hands today. I just want to thank Pennzoil and Ford and Pat and Jack and all the people that make it all possible.
Another good day for Roush Racing in Las Vegas, Matt Yoakum.
And Brad Parrott almost got Carl Edwards' first career win. You had a set of 18-lap scuffs. If you'd had stickers, would that have been enough to get him?
I think a set of Goodyears would have got us somewhere there. But, man, I can't say enough about World Financial Group for coming on board, Brad Parrott, Charter Communications, National Guard, all our sponsors.
What about the drive by you?
Man, I'm just lucky to be driving for this team. This thing was terrible yesterday. Brad got out all his notes. I never seen so many notes in my life, and he swore it was going to work, and I could not believe how great this car was. So we're going to lose races like that. I mean, that's okay. And I can't say congratulations enough to Mark Martin. He's a hero of mine. He deserves wins, and that team worked really hard. So proud that Roush won. Sorry it wasn't us.
Led a lot of laps today, 125. He says he's got an even better car for tomorrow. Dick?
Hey, Kevin Harvick, 4 second places in a row. Are you ready to give this car up to somebody else? You're going to drive it next week in Atlanta.
Yeah, Brandon Miller's going to drive it next week in Atlanta. But this Reese Chevrolet has been awesome at the start of this year. We just haven't been able to crack down on a win yet, but it's hard to complain about 4 second place finishes. So the guys did good all day. Congratulations to Mark Martin. He's just got by David. And I want to say congratulations to Armando and David Stremme and this whole Navy team. Those guys, for the small effort that they have and all the things that they put into it with Chip Ganassi's help and everybody, they've come a long way. So it was a lot of fun there at the end.
And congratulations to you. You have been driving brilliantly.